In today's video, I'm going to show you 10 things that I absolutely love about my 2024 GR Corolla Premium. And if you're new to the channel, thanks for watching this video. I have two other cars, a Stage 3 TCRS and a Stage 3 GTI. So if you want to see more about those cars, head over to my channel and check out some of those videos. But for now, let's get into it. So the first thing that I absolutely love about this car are the wheels. And these are Enkis and they're 18 by 8.5. These are wrapped in a Nexen Wingard Sport 2 tire. It's my winter tire, but they actually give you a really nice stock tire that comes with this that's really grippy. I'm excited to put that on. I ended up getting the black lug nuts on mine, which I think complement these wheels really nicely, but these have a crazy amount of concave, which look amazing. And the fact that they're 18s, I mean, it's just a wheel that I just wouldn't replace. Just keep these straight from the factory. Another thing that I really like about this, I am going to move into the interior because I know I was hating on this interior in the last video, but they do have some nice GR badging throughout, and I think particularly on the headrest, I think that looks pretty cool with the way that they did that. And if you look inside, they actually have a cool badge on the steering wheel as well. Steering wheel's not as cool though. They could have made this flat and have it a little bit more of a girth up here to grip onto when you're riding on the track, but I do think putting this here looks pretty cool. And then they do it nice with the badge on the side next to the vent as well, which that is a functional vent, so that's pretty nice. Another thing I really like is the headlights, and I'm a huge fan of how they hook down. I think that looks so mean and aggressive. The only thing I kind of wish they did was if they could go like all orange. If you ever seen the Kia Tellurides with the daytime running lights, I think that like how they do the turn signal all orange, if you could have that as a daytime running light, I think that would look so mean to drive around like that when it's like a little bit dusk out. But either way, I love the way that it cuts into the bumper and shows these nice lines. Next, we're going to move over to the exterior. Just particularly the styling in general is one thing that I do love about this, and I think that's mainly what a lot of people love about this car is you can look at it from any angle, and this car is going to give you something to look at. It's going to have flares coming out of the back. It's going to have the side skirts from a side view. It has more hook lights in the back that accentuate the front. Get the black trim. You got 3 exhausts, which is interesting, but the lines in this car are so nice. Body flare, the way that that comes out when these are all cleaned up, which are covered in brake dust right now, but these bright red brakes look amazing and they pop so nice in the sun. Moving on, another thing that I love about this car is going to be the handling. This thing handles like a monster, straight out of the box, straight from the factory. You can whip this thing around a turn and it's going to feel pretty planted for being a stock car. I have to say the handling is really spot on, and I can't compare this to my GTI. My TTRS handles way better than this car, but the GTI has so much done to the handling. Control arms, sway bars, coilovers, bushings, and this handles pretty similar, and it's not even lowered yet. So I know once I get this car lowered, it's going to handle that much better. I do wonder if you can beef up the strut bars. I know that there's something you can buy for a strut bar for the rear. I might look into that too, as long as I don't lose the practicality of the hatch, but this car really handles amazing. Adaptive cruise control is next for me. None of my other cars have this. My Q3, my TTRS, or my Mark 6 GTI, and I don't want this to be a comparison between those cars, but that's just what I drive every day. The adaptive cruise control is actually really nice, and that's going to be part of the technology package. If you're going to drive this car on the highway a lot and use this car for commuting purposes, I highly recommend you to get the technology package for that adaptive cruise control. It's so nice, and you can literally just set it, barely touch the wheel, and the thing's just going to drive for you on the highway. You're going to have some highway noise, like I said in the other video, of the things that I don't like about this car, that being one of them, but the adaptive cruise control really is such a nice feature that I didn't think I needed, but I'm really getting used to, and I like it a lot. Another thing that I absolutely love about this car, and we're moving to the back, and this is one of the reasons why I bought this car, was for the hatch. And I do have this down most of the time, but the hatch is very spacious. You can fit tons of stuff in here from top to bottom. You just got to watch this glass because it does angle and you don't want to smash it, but the practicality of this hatch is really nice. I think that there's nothing like it. If you can buy a high performance car that you can take to the track, you can daily drive, and you can use it in such a practical manner, there's tons of room in this hatch, and that's what makes this car so unique to me. Next, we're going to talk about the power that this car makes. This is a 1.6 liter 3-cylinder cylinder that's pushing 300 horsepower. And if you're looking for a car that you can buy straight out of the box, that you can take to the track, that's practical, that you could have so much fun on the weekends in, this is the car for you. Because in my opinion, I don't think this car really needs too many mods. If any, this car is everything that you would want, and it does make around 22 pounds of boost from my experience. I think that that's plenty. I don't think that this car really needs that much more, and to be honest with you, I don't think there's that much more room for this car to even go before you're gonna have to start upgrading some crazy things like the transmission. Another thing that I really like about this car is it has a built-in boost gauge. It also has a G meter over here, which I think is pretty cool. My TTRS has one of these, and I know the new GTIs are doing it too. I think that's a really cool feature, and I love the fact that they're doing that. But I love this boost gauge. It's a little bit weird that they have this in a decimal format. They could have just put 15 and 30, but they had to do the times 10 thing, which is really weird. This thing is so cool. Whenever it makes peak boost, it'll stop and it'll make a mark there for a second just so you know what you hit. Majority of the time when you're getting a turbo car, a lot of people are just putting a boost gauge wherever up here, they're mounting it, but this is built in, which is so cool because you don't have to have anything like tacky in your car. It's just there. If you don't want it, you can just cycle over to something else. I really like that feature. They just need to get rid of the decimals. Okay, lastly, what I love about this car is the fact that the exhaust does not sound bad. For being completely stock, I know that they're regulating emissions so much lately that 5-10 years ago, this car would probably have pops and bangs from the factory. Let's be honest, this thing actually sounds pretty decent for stock. So I'm gonna set the camera down, start it up, and I'm gonna rev it so you guys can hear. Alright guys, so that's it for today's video. If there's anything that I missed that you guys like, type it in the comments what you guys love about your car. I'm actually excited to read them. I'd like to see what you guys think about your cars. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.